Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us today at Mystic Fitness. Welcome to 2021. I'm so excited to start this year off with you. My name is Erin, and I'll be guiding you through your practice this morning. For your practice today, I always suggest you have at least one block on hand. You'll never know when you'll need it. I like to think of blocks as a close friend or maybe my mom, someone there to lend me a hand when I need it. And I also use blocks at times to challenge myself and push myself a little bit outside my comfort zone. So blocks are for everybody, not just beginners. If you don't have a block, you could always just use something else to bring the floor up a little higher for you. And also a cushion or a pillow, something like that, can make a nice block replacement when we're doing things more restorative on the floor. So today you will enjoy a more core strengthening focused practice. So get ready for that. We're going to find our core today, really connect to who we are deep within so that we can start the year off right, feeling fully ourselves, authentically, moving from a space that feels right. Body, soul, heart, mind. We'll begin today in a seated position. You can fold your legs in front of you as that's comfortable for you. If you would like to sit up onto a block here, perfectly good idea. It'll help your knees drop down. So particularly if you find that your knees are high, sit up on the edge of a block and just start to allow the knees to soften gently away. And once you've made your way into your place, you'll allow your eyes to gently float closed. Bring your hands to a place to rest, maybe on your knees or thighs, wherever is comfortable for you. And we'll start to breathe in and out through our nose. As you breathe in, let your belly expand, and then just let it go. We'll start off with these gentle belly to chest breaths, not with much effort yet. Just noticing how the inhale will help you expand the belly, side ribs, lower back even. And then as you exhale, you just release, soften it out. Continue here, long inhales and complete exhales. As you're here, your head is reaching up strongly towards the ceiling. Your shoulders have relaxed down and away from your ears. And there's just enough engagement of pelvic floor and belly muscles so that you're seated up super tall. Good. On your next round of breath, we'll start to bring a little fire into the breath. And this is called a belly bonfire breath. As you breathe in, we'll still relax the belly. Let the air fill the belly and the side ribs. But as you exhale, you begin to engage the pelvic floor, lightly drawing belly in towards spine to help press the air out. Relax your effort. Inhale, get big. Exhale, engage the abs. Press it upward. Continue to play around with this. Inhale, fill up. Exhale, press and engage the air out. A couple more rounds. Working with this breath will help us access our transverse abdominal muscles. These are our deepest core muscles that surround the spine. It'll provide support for all of your poses in class and support for your body as you move throughout your daily life. Let's get 2 more rounds of these. On the exhale, pelvic floor lifts, lower belly draws in just enough. Feel it. And one last one. Breathing in and out through the nose, but more gently now. coming back to a place of peace. On your next breath in, let's stretch the arms all the way up overhead. Palms touch. Maybe you tilt your nose up to the sky. As you exhale, hands draw to heart. Pelvic floor lifts up so that meets right in the middle, that power. Let's get 2 more. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, draw hands to the heart. Lower belly draws in to meet the hands. One more time. This time we'll settle hands at heart. Shoulders drop down from ears. Sitting up super tall. If there's something special that brought you to your mat today, hold that thought, that word in your heart. Maybe use it as your intention for class. And then we'll open up our practice together by uniting our voices and energies in the sound of Om. We'll prepare with a cleansing breath together. Let's take it in and let it out. And inhale for your Om. What a gorgeous vibration we've already created together. Let's float our eyes open here. And we'll start our warm-up in this seated position with some seated cows and cats. Let's take our hands down to the knees here. As you inhale, you'll roll your shoulders down and come forward a little, arching. And as you exhale, you'll curl and rock back. Hold your knees for a little traction. Inhale, dive your way forward and up, arching. Exhale, you'll just curl and rock it back. So continue to move between these 2 movements, using your breath to help guide you here, taking it at your own pace, knowing that your pace is perfect for you, never trying to rush, just really feeling how it's showing up in the body. We'll get 2 more here. Rocking back. 1 more. And rocking back. The next time you inhale, come towards the right knee and then spin around to the front, exhaling around. So I call this one stirring the pot. I don't know what you got cooking in your pot today. Right? So we're just going to stir whatever it is around, finding some lovely movement. Shoulders can move, again, no right or wrong way. Let's start to move in the other direction when your body tells you it's ready. And we'll get several here. If you feel as though you want to go the other direction at any time, please honor that and do so. We'll finish up here. Maybe 1 more. If you need to get an extra one in there to feel even, do what you need. And then we'll meet back in the middle. And this time we'll inhale both arms all the way up overhead. As you exhale, fists of fire into the belly and begin to lean back with a long spine. I'm going to spin around so you can see that a little bit better. You'll inhale, lift up, and exhale, curl and rock it back a bit. Couple more that way. Fists draw in. Maybe even, ankles popped up there. Maybe that's starting to happen for you. Otherwise, you're just taking that long spine, firm belly there. Couple more. Rock back. Don't have to lift the ankles, but maybe you explore just a little bit of that. Let's get 2 more. Just kind of feeling how this is showing up, right? Last one. And this time, maybe we all try to lift the feet. Let's unwind the feet. Hold on to your thighs for a little extra help. Roll the shoulders down. Nice, rotate the feet at the ankles. If this is too much, take your feet down and just stay here. So this is a nice modified way to do the pose. It's early in practice, right? So no matter what you did yesterday, sometimes we need those modifications. If you've got a little extra oomph, you could release the hands and maybe rotate the wrists out a bit. We'll get just one more moment here. Do it however you like. And then we'll cross the ankles, pull the knees in, and transition onto hands and knees. Coming into a modified side plank, spin on one knee so that your foot points behind you. The other leg will stretch long, inner side of your foot to the floor. Stretch your arm up overhead. Take a big breath in, and then as you exhale, reach that hand for the back hip. Graze the floor as you breathe in, and exhale as it comes around. So let your elbow bend as you draw it around the head. So we're taking it nice and gently here. Feel how the chest starts to open up. And after our final circle, we'll come back to that side plank. Really stretch the arm. You can either reach it to the ceiling or bring it up by your ear for a super duper side stretch there. Take one breath. Let it out. One more inhale. And as you exhale, circle arm back towards the hip to the floor, tabletop position. And you can just spin around to do the other side. Press the inner edge of the back foot to the floor, arm up to the sky. Big breath here. Take a big moment to stretch. And then when your exhale is ready, reach for the back hip. Circle the arm around. So I add arm circles into several poses, depending upon my mood of the day. If we ever come into a pose today that feels like you might like to circle your arm, feel free to explore that, even if I don't suggest it. This is your practice. This is your time to get to know your body. We'll begin to still the arm now, exploring our modified side plank. Press into your hand that's on the floor, grip it. Every time you have a hand on the floor, you want your hand very, very active. Continue to reach up for the sky, or maybe you bring your arm by your ear. Couple of breaths. One more. Last big inhale. As you exhale, arm circles back towards your hip, so you make your way back to tabletop position. Let's curl the toes and press yourself up and back to downward facing dog. Once you arrive there, start to feel it out for yourself. Bend one knee at a time. Let the opposite leg lengthen. Again, grip the floor. I always think of tree frogs here. I just love all animals and nature. So for some reason, that animals, trees, all that stuff always comes to mind when I'm in my poses. So I always think of that cute little tree frog who can just do anything with those sticky little fingers. And so can you. Let's take a couple more here, pedaling out the feet. And then we'll start to explore some stillness in down dog. Now, especially at the beginning of a practice, let your knees be a little bit bent. We want to work on lengthening the spine first and take the hamstrings a little bit out of it so that we don't overstretch. You might want to always work with bent knees in your down dog to help take the pressure off your lower back and the hamstrings. We'll practice a few waving planks together. Now, these will not only help strengthen your deepest core muscles, but also decompress lower spine. To find it, we'll look forward and bend the knees. As you exhale, you'll begin to lift the hips and try to roll like a wave into high plank. On your in-breath, bend your knees and allow yourself to glide back. Let your elbows bend too. Try it again. Exhale, wave forward. Inhale, glide back. Get a couple more. Forward. And then glide back. Now, if this is new to you, it will feel strange. It will feel sticky, perhaps. It will change over time. Get one more. Make your way into high plank. Squeeze with your fingers. So we're a bright, shiny new plank that we just got for whatever holiday you celebrate. So we're not sagging, right? We're not sticking way up there. We try to be nice and long and as straight as we can be. Take one last breath. And we're going to drop the knees to the floor, tops of the feet to the floor. And then on an exhale, slowly lower down. Thighs, belly, chest. Tuck your chin. Inhale, cobra. Now we wave the upper spine. Exhale down. Couple more there. Inhale, wave up, strengthening the back chain of the body. And come down. Couple more. Now this is also a core strengthener, just the back side of it. One more. And come down. Get one more pause. And then we'll press up and back to pause in child's pose just for a couple breaths. You can spread your knees wide. Or if that's not comfortable, let your knees come together. I tend to wiggle a little bit to get myself into a place of comfort. Take a moment to let your head just rest here, either on your hands, the floor, or a block. Come back to long, slow, deep breaths. Notice the sensations you're feeling in your body. Noticing the changes that we've already started to create. 2 more breaths here. One more. Good. All right. Up we come. Hands and knees. Curl your toes. And now we'll lift the knees just to a hover. Now this is a hovered table. I like to bring the weight a little forward and back. Then press back as much as you can, lengthening the spine here. And then find your downward facing dog again. One more breath. Getting ready to travel forward now. Bend your knees, look where you're going. As you exhale, walk your feet up to your hands. Inhale for your half lift. Belly engages. We're strong to support low back. Exhale, soften, fold all the way down. Let your head get as heavy as you can. Let your shoulders be heavy. You can shake your head side to side, or maybe make little circles with it. Let any worries, cares just roll off your back here. One more breath. Good. Oh, let's find extended mountain together. Make sure your feet are hips width apart first. Engage the feet. And on your inhale, reach up, pull through the inner thighs, the belly. Take that energy all the way up to the sun. And then exhale, draw hands to heart center. Again, we zip it up right there, and it comes to meet. Let's find our first core strength vinyasa here. Inhale, arms will reach. Exhale, pour yourself down with soft knees, forward fold. Inhale to a strong half lift. Exhale, hands plant, and you'll walk your way back to down dog first. Inhale, look forwards, bend the knees, prepare. Exhale, wave like water to plank. Inhale and plank. Exhale, knees drop, and we lower all the way to the floor slowly. Tuck chin, inhale, back strength lifts you up. Exhale, up and back, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Take a breath. Let it out. Awareness comes to sensations, to breath. One more breath. We're going to get a second one. Let's inhale, look forward, and knees bend. Exhale, walk your feet to your hands, starting from the top. Inhale, strong half lift, pelvic floor engages, lower belly strong. Exhale, soften. So find that balance of strength and surrender. Inhale, rise, sweep up, offer it up to the sky. Exhale, we'll dive all the way down this time right away. Inhale, big half lift. Exhale, take it to down dog. Can walk or take a little jog if you're feeling frisky. Let's find our waved plank. Inhale, look forward and bend. Exhale, wave it through. You can come all the way to the floor like we did last time, or for a little extra arm strength, you can drop the knees. Exhale just to chaturanga here, so the elbows glue into the ribs and we're hovered. Keep the shoulders higher than elbows. Inhale to either up dog or back to cobra. Exhale up and back, downward facing dog. Breathe in and out. One more. And let it go. Good. Let's inhale our right leg all the way up to the sky. You can either keep it straight, this is a 3-leg dog, or bend your knee and open the hip. If you're opening, check in with both hands. Make sure your right hand is still pressing down just as firmly. And see if you can get your knee to point up to the sky. If it doesn't do it yet, it might one day. It might not. And it's all good, right? Let's inhale back to 3-leg dog straight. Exhale, tiger curl draws the knee in towards the nose, but we pick the hips up and really round. We'll try that again. Inhale up. Exhale, take it in. So we've got a lot of core strengtheners coming your way today. Let's step to the right hand from here. We're going to make our way into runner's lunge to begin with. Feet are in a train track position, hips width apart. Back heel stays lifted. And then we'll lift our way up. Always try to use the front spine to lift rather than the back here. Once you arrive, and adjust your mic, we'll take our arms all the way up. And maybe soften the knee a bit and just see, back knee that is, if that helps open up the front hip more. For some that might be too much, don't have to add that in. We'll get a few bows here. We'll take a big breath in to prepare. As you exhale, arms come back, you bow forward, but stay long. Really engage the belly here and hover. Try it again. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, bow. 3. Give me another one here. Bow. 2 left. Go slow. 1 more. I'm going to stay hovered. Open your fingers wide. Really engage your belly. See what you can change. For a greater challenge, reach your arms up by your ears. This makes your upper body heavier, and you'll notice it right away. 1 more breath. Let's lift back up to crescent now, up tall. Soften the shoulders down. And it's actually not really a softening, it's a drawing down, right? So we're strengthening here. 1 more inhale. Exhale, hands come to frame the front foot. If you have a block, go ahead and put it underneath your left hand on whatever height suits you. And then switch your right arm up to the sky for runner's twist. You could stay solid here, or if you're someone who needs a little extra shoulder mobility, here's another place where you can add those circles if you wish. Reaching your arm back towards hip and around head. Back knee can dip towards floor as you circle the arm, or if you prefer today to hold your twist the whole time without moving, please do what was right for you. We'll take another 2 breaths here. 1 more. Final breath in. On exhale, hand comes to frame front foot, both hands. Step back to down dog. So check in with the legs. My right leg feels maybe 1 inch longer than my left. So let's even things out here. Left legs turn. Inhale it all the way up. You can either stay here, so this feels really good too, just feeling this length in both legs. Or open the hip by bending your knee, reaching your heel for opposite shoulder, knee tries to point up. Always staying connected to breath. 1 more. You can always drop down to right knee if this is too intense, right? Let's inhale back to a 3-leg dog. Exhale, knee into the chest. One, hips pick up. One more. Inhale, up. Exhale to curl. I'm just going to show you on the knees too, so you could do it right like that. From here, step to your hand. We make our way into runner's lunge. Before you lift, stabilize feet. We want a strong foundation. Then, using that deep belly, dip the back knee a bit. Inhale up. We're in our crescent. Allow yourself to feel glorious here for a moment. Readjust anything you need to. Front knee should be right over the ankle there. And we'll get ready to bow. Inhale, prepare, open up through chest. Exhale, bow, hover. Try not to collapse here. Let's get 3 more. Inhale. Exhale. 2 to go. 1. Stay hovered. Glutes turned on. Quads, hamstrings, fingers are wide open with energy. Energy radiating out of the crown of the head. 1 more breath. Arms draw forward. Shoulders draw away from ears. Last moment to hold here. Hovered lunge. And we'll inhale back to crescent, lifting the body upward. Ooh. Works the core and we don't even realize it. 1 more breath in. Exhale, hands come down to the floor near your front foot. Grab your block if you've got it. Place your right hand to the block. Left arm circles up. Reach it to the sky. Try not to let your hips sag. Keep your leg nice and strong. Press through back heel. Option if you want to circle the top arm. Or you can just hold a static twist. If you're not sure, play around. That's why we're here, right? It's all about self-discovery. Let's take our way back to a still twist for at least a couple of breaths. Long, slow breath. Final one. And on exhale, hands circles down, both hands to the floor, downward facing dog. Oh, and hopefully you're feeling even there. Pedal out your feet. And you may not feel completely even, probably don't, because we all have some subtle imbalances in the body. Some of us not so subtle. That's something I can personally say. But this is something that will help, right? So it just brings awareness to it, and then we can work with it or work on it. We're going to travel back to the front of the mat now. So still your feet. Look forward, knees bend. Walk, or you could try a hop if you're up for it today. Nice. Inhale halfway. Exhale, soften, and fold. Just stay here for 1 breath. And then on the next inhale, we'll rise tall. Press to the inner arches of feet, up inner thighs. This is all core here. Lift up. And now we'll take hands to heart center. Allow your eyes to close. Take a moment to let the yoga kind of move through the body, absorbing, and just being as you are. 1 more breath. Awesome. Let's open our eyes. We'll come into our first chair, our only chair for today. Feet will be hips width apart today, so it should give you the most stability. You could even make them a little wider for yourself. Stretch your arms up on an in-breath just to lengthen through side ribs. Turn on the low belly a little. And as you exhale, sit back to chair. I tend to take the arms back first and take it forward, but that's really up to you. Drawing the arms forward, though, as you fin into seat will help counterbalance the action of the hips coming back. So you want to try not to do something like this with the knees over the feet. Try to slide it back so your shins kind of perpendicular to the floor-ish, right? Kind of feel like I have ski boots on here. Let's sit. We're going to strengthen the upper back now with some cactus arms. So bend your elbows, draw them down. Only 1 more breath here. Looks good. Everybody inhale up. And now we're going to take a nice little break in our ragdoll. Bow forward. Bend the knees a lot as you come down. If it feels nice in your body to grab opposite elbows, grab opposite elbows. Allow that extra weight of your arms to open up the back muscles that we just worked in the chair pose with cactus arms. You can sway a little side to side. If this is too deep of a bend, or if you just feel like you're a little dizzy, you need a little bit more of a restful position, you could take the feet wider, bend your knees like this, and take your forearms onto your thighs, and just rest. And don't feel like, oh, I have to do the hard one. You do the one that you need, right? One more breath here. If you are working with a grip, release it. On your next inhale, we'll take a half lift, strong, engage the belly. Exhale, fold, soften the belly. Let's rise with the breath. Inhale all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart. Awesome. All right. So we'll come up towards top of the mat here. We're going to end up stepping to the back through a little bit of balance. So we're going to balance onto the right leg first. Take hands to prayer and press them together. As you're doing this, engage those deep core muscles and notice how adding a little pressure here turns it on even more. We'll then begin to lift the left knee up, flex left ankle. If you need to put your hands somewhere else, go for it. We're going to lift the arms up now and come through airplane. Bend your standing leg and begin to press the foot back. Take a moment here. Make micro adjustments, maybe taking shoulders further from ears, maybe dialing the back foot more to the floor. Last breath here. And we'll land it back in our crescent lunge, keeping the heel lifted. Arms lift up in all your beautiful glory, and then drop the back heel. We're in a warrior two, but we're coming right away out of it. First into 5-pointed star, or just a wide leg stance, I guess, because we have the arms down. 2-pointed star. Then we're going to take the feet out and the heels in, preparing for goddess. Yes. Oh, everybody loves a good goddess, right? So we'll start to bend and find a seat. And I always kind of shift a bit side to side. And you can press down on the thighs from the hip crease down to the knees. Just create a little space. Maybe press the hips back. So you find a place that feels good for you. Then we'll start to come more upright. And we'll take our hands now behind the head. We've got a light engagement of that low belly here. We're going to add a little abdominal work in today. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, you're going to tilt over towards one side. Doesn't have to touch the knee. Actually, I would suggest you don't. Inhale to the top. Exhale up and over, just to your degree of stretch. We're not reaching for the knee. We're just going over. Come back to the middle. Exhale other way. Oh, how's this feel? Good, right? Inhale to the middle. Exhale to the other side. So as the legs keep going, start to tremble, you say, oh, look at that, they're trembling. But you just move on. You inhale, and you go to the other side, and you come back to your breath to help you through. And guess what? We just have to go one more time to the left, then come back to goddess. So not only did that challenge the abs a bit, shifting weight should have challenged the legs. Let's come out of goddess now. Straighten up. Toes point towards me, and we'll spread the arms. Here's our 5-pointed star. Inhale, open up, and then as you exhale, bend your knees, find your forward fold. Oh. Now, any anxiety, any worries that you just had are falling out of your head, and they are just leaving your body and coming to the earth. I like to add side lunges here. So I'm shifting from one side to the other, bending one knee and then the other knee. Your inner thighs connect directly into your spine. So getting the inner thighs nice and stretched out can help relieve pain that you may experience in your lower back. It can also prevent having to experience that pain. So this is a nice thing to do for yourself. And then after a few of those, we'll take some time to just let ourselves be. Just enjoy a static fold here. If you're very bendy, you could walk your hands under you, grip the floor like that tree frog again, and pull yourself through. If you're less bendy, let your knees soften a bit and just work on pressing the hips back and keep your hands on a block or something for some support. One more breath here. Preparing to come out. We will inhale to a half lift. Wave your spine long there. On the exhale, you'll begin to find that core. Squeeze it upwards. Even squeeze glutes a little. Take hands onto hips and stay in fold. Then as you inhale, bend your knees. Use the front spine to lift your way up. It's kind of like a roll up there. And we've got one last bit to do here before we switch sides. Pick up your right toes. Pivot on the heel as we return to Warrior Two, this time to stay a bit. So now we have our feet pretty much in one line. Front heel should be in line with either the back heel or the middle of your foot. Spread your fingers wide. Your thumb becomes your drishti or your focal point. Soften the muscles of your face. Maybe turn up the edges of your mouth a bit. One more breath here. Flip the right hand now. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, stay there. One more breath in. And on the exhale, we'll find extended side angle, taking the right arm onto your thigh. Press your arm into the thigh in a way, and then take the left arm either up to the sky, or you can circle it back towards your ear. If you are reaching for the ear, try to turn your palm to face behind you, internally rotate at the shoulder joint. You're going to open up the upper back behind the shoulder there. Rear delts, a little bit better. Looking good, yogis. It's a nice stretch for that side abs. One more. Good. Inhale, sweep up and back, reverse. As you exhale, we'll cartwheel hands to floor. Step back, downward facing dog. Breathe it in. Let it out. One more. Let's start from the top. Inhale, look forward, knees bend. Let your elbows be a little bendy too. Maybe even kind of hover and pounce a bit. When you're ready, you either walk forward or try a hop. Even if the hop didn't work, you're never going to get there if you don't try, right? So inhale, halfway. Exhale, full. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands hard. Take a moment. Take it in. Same thing on the other side. Left leg balance. Already feeling belly drawing inward. More awareness in left leg. Press palms. Right knee lifts. Flexing ankle helps as well. Bring as much power into the legs as you can. From here, we will find our airplane. You can reach arms out. Bend standing knee a bit. That'll help release hips as you begin to press the opposite leg back. Trying to dial the lifted toes down, so internal rotation of the back leg. If you fall, so what? Try again or not, right? When you're ready, we land the toes to the back of the mat. Crescent. Lift up, express yourself. Warrior 2 for transition. Drop the back heel and open the arms. And you're in luck today, second goddess. So turn to face the long end of your mat. Tile the toes out. Sit your hips down. Again, press the hips back at first, so there's no pressure on knees. Then from there, start to lift the spine back up. And it doesn't have to be stick straight. So wherever you're able to lift it up to is where you should stay. From here, we're taking the arms up overhead. Create a flame by pressing the fingertips together. Inhale, reach your flame up. Exhale, we're spinning to the right. So draw elbows down and twist. More core work here. Inhale, lift up to the middle. Exhale, twist to the other side. Inhale, reach. Exhale, twist. Inhale to the center. Exhale, twist. And don't over twist. This is our last one. Just explore your degree of twist. Last time. Yes. Back to the middle, arms up. Thumb and forefinger meet as you spread the arms wide in your Gyan Mudra. 2 breaths. One more. Good. Let's come to 5-pointed star. Straighten legs. Pivot toes to face me. Arms reach out. Edges of feet parallel to mat. This time we will interlace hands behind. Grab something if you need to make that a little longer connection, a belt or anything you've got handy. Draw the shoulders down on an inhale and puff up your proud chest. As you exhale, you bend the knees. Hips come back as you fold. Don't forget to keep the knees at least a little bent. Never locking out the knees, even if you're really flexible there. Keeping your interlaced fingers strongly reaching up. If this is too intense, bring your hands to a happier place. One more long breath in and out. Final one here. Keeping hands interlaced or bringing them to hips. On an in-breath, soften the knees a little bit. Squeeze pelvic floor. Use that action to press and lift all the way to standing. We'll release the arms. Warrior 2 on the left. Pick up left toes. Pivot on your heel. And spread your arms. We'll stay in Warrior 2 a few breaths. We want to press firmly into the outer edge of the back foot. Maybe even barely lifting up the inner arch a tiny bit. Take one final breath here. Flip your left hand now. Inhale, reverse your warrior. As you exhale, maybe just take shoulder away from ears. Find some slight modification. And then on your next natural exhale, that's when we move to our extended side angle. Now taking the left forearm to the thigh. Either reaching arm up or sweeping it by the ear with that internal rotation, palm faces back. Wide open, happy spirit fingers here. Some jazz hands, right? Keep breathing. You can bring your gaze to the ceiling for a greater challenge or to the floor to help you feel more grounded. Let's come out here. Inhale, up and back. Reverse your warrior. Exhale, cartwheel hands to the floor. Pick up the back foot. Step your way back, downward facing dog. Deep breath in. And out. Let's drop to the knees. Either just sit back on your heels. Maybe grab a little water break, or you can rest in child's pose. We just want to take it down a little bit. Just to take a quick little break here. Nothing like a good drink of water, right? So good. Okay. Once you've taken care of any physical needs, come back to a place of stillness. Hands can just rest right on the thighs. Give yourself a couple breaths. One more here. Good. So we've got a little extra balance to do before we hit the floor. It will be a core focused balance, side plank. Coming on 2 hands on knees here. Let's pick up our toes. I'm going to spin around so I can see my yogis in the room. We'll start from a downward facing dog. Find your best dog, enjoy it, spread shoulders away from each other, either pedaling your feet or just exploring a nice still dog. From here, we'll find a wave plank. Inhale, look forward, knees bend. Exhale, wave it through. Just give it a try. Then we'll find side plank by dropping the heels over to the right side. And we will lift left arm up to the sky. So you can either keep your feet staggered one in front of the other, which is kind of an intermediate variation. Advanced would stack the feet right on top of each other. Or if you would like to find a modification, you can drop your bottom knee down just like we did earlier on. Keep pressing into your fingers that are on the floor. Reach your arm actively up to the sky. We're going to stay here for a few breaths. If this becomes too much onto your hand, you could take it on your forearm or let the bottom knee come down for support. You have one more big breath in. And as you exhale, hand circles down towards the floor. Come to center plank. Drop heels to the other side. Sweep opposite arm up. Either stay here, you can stack your feet. Some of you like to lift the top leg. Now that's a lot of core strength there. If you want to try that, you can even lift and lower. So I want you to feel the freedom to explore your own practice. Even if your practice is a nice, beautiful child's pose right now, one more big breath. I want to make our way back to center plank. Knees drop and we take a nice rest in child. Take the hips back. Let's find 2 breaths. One more. Making way to hands and knees now. We're going to thread our needle. We'll take our right arm, stretch it up to the sky. And then as you exhale, we'll reach it under. Shoulder and cheek try to land and let the opposite elbow bend there. Do another one like that. So inhale, reach up like you're reaching for the stars. And then exhale, thread it through. One last one. And then thread it on through. Now here we get to stay and rest. You can keep your left hand where it is. You could also reach it towards the front of the mat and lengthen, get that nice long stretch through the left side. You could also reach hand to sky, turn palm to face back, find half bind, pressing the back of your hand into your lower back or reaching for opposite thigh. If you want to try to add extra core strength in here, you'll try to balance just on the right knee, extending the left leg back and lifting it up. You can do this with your left hand on the ground for more stability like I'm doing, or with your left hand behind your back, which is super duper challenging. If your leg is lifted, gently place the knee back down to its starting position. Move your left hand back where it needs to be, and we'll come on out. Inhale, sweep up and out. Exhale, circle the arm back down to tabletop. Couple cat and cows. Inhale, arch and look up. Exhale, press fingers, curl and round. One more. and round. Coming back to hands and knees, I'm going to do the other side. I'm just going to sneak a little forward up here so you can see me even better. Inhale the left arm up to the sky. Exhale, reach and thread. Again, inhale. Exhale. Final one. Reach through. As you land, you start to explore. Maybe this is the peak of the mountain. You're at the summit and you stay. Or you can reach the hand forward, explore opening up ribs more. Back of your hand might turn and come on to lower back. Possibly extending right leg back, lifting it up. A lot of strength here, I know. If you're trembling, I'm with you. One more breath. And let's gently place the knee back down. Return your right hand under your shoulder. Inhale, arm up and out. Exhale, circle it back down. Beautiful job. Let's take our way onto our backs. Once you get there, let everything sink down nice and heavy. You can wrap your arms around your shins. Just let yourself melt down. Nice, beautiful resting position. You want to let your hips stay down and your head stay down, so we're not all tied up and trying to curl. We're really just trying to soften all of the bones and muscles down into Mother Earth. Let her hold you and cradle you here. Maybe just subtly rocking yourself side to side into a deeper sense of ease. Take another few breaths just like this. We'll drop our feet down to the floor now as we start to come into our bridge pose. Hands will be alongside your body and feet are under the knees or even slightly further away, but never want to take them too close to your glutes because that can put way too much pressure on the front of the knees. So it should feel like a pretty comfortable place. Then begin to take an in-breath to prepare, and as you exhale, tilt your pelvis towards you, pressing your back into the mat. Then continue to press more to lift up one vertebra at a time until you're up onto the backs of your shoulders and the upper back. At that point, you might walk your shoulders a little closer to each other under you. This will maybe allow you to come up a little higher, putting your meaty shoulders, strong shoulders underneath to help support the body. If you're someone who likes to interlace your hands underneath you, you can go ahead and do that. Just try not to yank the shoulders down. Try to keep them right up underneath where they can support you best. So you might be noticing that we are still working the core, strengthening the back chain of the body here. Mostly hamstrings and glutes, but back spine also helping as we're opening up the front spine here. One more inhale. And then on exhale, we come down slowly. Upper spine, mid spine, low spine lands. Let's decompress the spine here. Take your hands onto your thighs. Take the heels of your hands right into thigh creases. And then start to gently press your legs away from you. Notice a stretch in your lower back. See if you can breathe into that space. You apply as much pressure as feels good for you with your hands. Maybe the pressure gets a little firmer. Maybe it needs to back off. Only you know. One more breath. Beautiful. Relax hands down alongside you. Second bridge. Getting ready, prepare the same way. Inhale to prepare yourself. Exhale, use your strong back body to lift back up. Either staying here or for a greater challenge, you will toe heel your left foot a little bit more to the center of your mat as you will be balancing just on the left leg. Lifting the right knee up towards chest and then pressing right foot to sky. Single leg bridge or foot comes down. You can explore it for as long as you can sustain it. And then we will gently place the right foot where the left foot was. You have to kind of wiggle them around a bit. And then try the left or not. Maybe 2 feet grounded. One more breath. And then gently place left foot down. Reestablish hips width distance with feet. Take one last inhale. And as you exhale, we come down super duper slowly. Taking the soles of the feet together, allow your knees to drop open, recline bound angle. You can bring your hands alongside you and just rest here. This is another position I love to add that spinal traction. So I very frequently will take my hands to tops of thighs here. Maybe rock knees a little side to side. After a moment or two, let yourself just completely be. Palms face open, hands on ground. With the palms facing the sky, we're opening up the chest, not only physically, but also emotionally. Three long inhales, belly to chest. And exhales. Last two. One more. Both knees come back to chest. Give yourself a little squeeze. You can rock a little. And then we'll take our knees bent, stack them right over your hips. So shins parallel to the floor. Uh-oh, what she got in store for us now? Looks like some core work. Let's take the hands behind the head here. We're going to get some very slow yogi bicycles. So to get ready, we're going to lift the shoulders and the head. Now don't yank your neck. You're just resting your head in your hands. Take a breath in. As you exhale, twist your left elbow to the right knee and extend the left leg. Inhale to back your center point and exhale to the other side. Slow inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Keep going at your own slow pace. We inhale to the center. We exhale, twist, extend. Couple of more here, or maybe that's it for you today. So please listen to the signals your body tells you. It's always talking to us. We usually try to think about other things that we think are more important. But guess what? You are most important. We have one last one. Over to the left. We come back to the middle and we give ourselves some love. Oh, all time. We're going to make our way into a nice stretch here for the quads before we twist out. So let's take the feet down once again. Glutes, not quads, although you may feel some quads here. Let's cross right ankle over on top of left. Modified half pigeon here. Figure 4. I love this. Takes all the pressure off your knees, but it still gives you a great hip opener. Another place where I love to add the spinal traction. So I frequently will start off with my hands at the tops of the thighs and just gently press away. I'm convinced that through this simple action and the waved planks that I've eliminated my lower back pain that I used to suffer from time to time. I have not noticed it since I've added these two things back into my practice. You could either stay this way, or for a little deeper sensation of stretch, you could take a block underneath your right foot and press your foot into the block. Or some of us like to interlace our fingers behind the left thigh and take the left leg in. Your left foot would be on the block. I said right, I meant the left there. I just had a nice, delicious exhale on cue with one of my yogis in the room. I love that. And another one. We're on the same wavelength. I love it. Last couple of breaths here. One more. A symphony of ahs. Let's drop the left foot down. If you've lifted it, we're going to try to keep the knees and the foot where it is for now. And spread your arms out to the side. We're going to rock our pigeon knees side to side. So we'll just drop them down to one side. And then roll through your foot to the other edge and rock to the other side. We'll just explore this a couple times. So you roll towards one edge of foot, through the sole of the foot, and then to the other. And then eventually we're going to land first over towards the left. So the outer edge of your left foot is on the floor, and your right knee is maybe pointing up towards the sky. And if you press your right ankle into the left thigh, you're going to get a super deep sensation of stretch in the outer hip there. You get to decide the degree of it by how much pressure you put your ankle onto left leg. One more breath here. And we'll take one more. I'm going to hold it on the other side. So we'll inhale, rock through center. And then on the exhale, drop your knees to the other side. And you will probably end up moving your left foot closer to the left edge of the mat, maybe even all the way off the mat. And if this is feeling too intense for you, just take your right ankle off of the left leg at this time. Let yourself settle down into a place that feels lovely. One more here. Good. Let's all take the right ankle off of the knee now. And we'll take our knees back up towards the sky. Take your legs in, circle your arms around your shins, rock yourself side to side so we can just let the spine find a nice neutral place so that we can take this whole sequence on the other side. So we drop the feet to the floor, take left ankle, cross it over on top of the right. You can work your way through the different phases of this pose, maybe starting with spinal traction. Maybe that's not something that you need or want, so you skip that. You can either just let your hands rest alongside you, maybe taking a block under the right foot and pushing into it there for an active stretch, or interlacing fingers under the right thigh and taking the thigh inward. Wherever you are, the face is soft. The breath is flowing. It's like a river here. Take it in. And let it out. Several more breaths your way. About 3 more. Last 2. And last 1. Good. We'll let our foot come down, keeping the left ankle where it is. Arms spread out to the side. You can turn the palms face down to help steady your shoulders as you begin to rock your pigeon legs from side to side. And just kind of let it happen. Guide it gently, but no strict rules here. You can go slow and kind of linger a little bit as they fall. When we're ready to find our stillness, we'll find it towards the right first, with the left foot landing maybe on the floor. Compress your ankle into the right thigh for a deeper opening in the left hip. Feeling the outer hip getting a nice stretch. Maybe IT bands waking up for you there. Big breaths. One more here. And then inhale up through center. Begin to toe heel your right foot towards left or the right side of the mat as your knees drop to the left. And feel free to adjust so that you feel comfortable. Don't have to land exactly where you are and stay. We'll allow ourselves to stay here, staying connected with breath and sensation, sliding left ankle off knee at any time. Seeing if you can inhale first to belly and then make your way up the rib cage all the way up into the upper chest. And slowly releasing every last drop. And then taking in a fresh batch of air. Trying to press it all out. One more. Sliding your ankle off of your knee. Take your knees back up towards the sky. Take knees in, grab a hold of outer edges of feet. Lift your feet up towards the sky. And then find your happy baby by drawing the knees out towards the edges. You can rock a little side to side here if that feels good for you. Use your grip to help open up the hips, pull the knees down. You can explore a single-legged happy baby by stretching one leg a little straighter, maybe getting really deep into the hamstrings and inner thigh on the straight leg. Keeping a small bend into the knee at least, especially if you're tight there. And then you can explore the other side. And if you can't reach your foot as you straighten out the leg, you could always hold on to the outer calf there instead. You could also try to straighten both legs out for a straddle here. Just taking a moment to do either the straight leg straddle or taking knees bent, happy baby. And if you're not a happy baby, find another position, right? So this is not a very comfortable one for some. We'll make our way lastly into our inversion before we find our Shavasana. If you have a block, please grab it. If you're at home and you have a cushion or a towel or a blanket or something you could roll up, that will do just fine. Take yourself up, press to your feet. We start like we're going in bridge, and then we will place ourselves on our block. Now, the very lowest height is perfect. You want to make sure you don't feel any pressure on the spine at all. So it shouldn't be right at the waist, but slightly below it, right on your sacrum. We'll then lift our feet up to the sky and open your palms and let your hands just rest on the floor. Try to inch your shoulders down and away from your ears to create a nice long neckline there. Find that perfect little hover point so that it's not really any work at all to keep your feet here. They're just hovering in space. And here we're simply allowing the inversion to draw the blood down from the legs and into the heart area. So by elevating the hips up, we're creating a nice diagonal line here for the blood to flow. We're going to stay here for several long breaths, staying as restful as you can here. Notice any thoughts that come in, and then just let them float away. Anything important you can revisit later. Starting to recognize certain patterns in the way that we think. Maybe noticing a gentle, soft voice that talks to you here. That's the one we can really tune in and listen to. Any sharp, critical voices, just let it go. Being just as perfectly imperfect as you are. We'll make our way to Shavasana as you're ready, taking your feet gently down to the floor, removing your block or whatever support you're using and setting it to the side. Extend your legs long down your mat, rearranging yourself in a symmetrical position. If you notice this has brought a discomfort or even a little tinge of uneasiness to your lower back, then you'll either bend your knees and place a cushion or something under them to keep them just gently propped up, or you could take your feet to the floor more fully and allow your bent knees to gently knock in towards each other. Again, one way is not better than the other as a rule. One will be better for you. We'll take these last few moments to just let our yoga do its magic, absorbing physical, mental, emotional, spiritual benefits here. Too numerous to name in one class. Maybe even noticing yourself filling up with a new sense of love for yourself, the world around you. Starting this next year off from a good place, a core centered place where you move authentically from place to place, thought to thought, being to being. Without moving much, just start to breathe a little more deeply here. Maybe just bring a gentle movement into your fingers or wrists. Maybe toes and ankles if your legs are extended. And we'll simply take our right hand and place it over your heart. Take your left hand and place it over your belly. Noticing our subtle strength in our deepest, deepest core. And a beautiful warm love underneath the hand holding the heart. We will close our class by uniting our beautiful energies in the sound of Om. One breath to prepare. Take it in. Let it out. Inhale for your Om here. Stay just as you are, dear yogis, keeping hands as they are. We'll close today with the word that celebrates our oneness, and that word is namaste. Namaste, dear yogis. Thank you all so much for coming. I hope you have a great day. Take good care.